Hey everyone, welcome to Alice and Bob. Today we talk about Karura frequently asked questions. So there are a few new features coming for Karura, while a few of the most important features are going to be enabled in the next few days. So for example, the car KSM liquidity pool is live now, and so now it's possible to use KSM for transaction fees. The native token of Karura, KAR, is used for transaction fees, but you can just use KSM, and under the hood, the system will swap KSM against KAR and use them as transaction fees. So this was enabled recently, and then we also have enabled the kUSD Stablecoin protocol. And it will be enabled in the next few days for the first possibility to collateralize KSM and lend kUSD, which will be minted in the system. And the third new feature is the NFT module, where we are all excited to see what is going to happen. So a few new features are going to be enabled, and this has sparked a lot of discussion and also questions in the community. I have seen a lot of questions on Twitter, also in the chat communities, and I've also received a few direct messages of people asking questions. And so I wanted to take the time and answer the most important and most common questions that I've been seeing, I've been asking you, because I think when all of these features are going to go into effect in the next days, we should all be prepared, and so should take a few minutes to look at them. So today we're going to look at what's new. Then the biggest block of questions is ways to earn. And this also relates very strongly to liquidity providing, liquidity pools, and how LP staking works. And also quite a few of you have been asking, what's the price of KAR going to be, and what is the market cap of KAR going to be? And less known question, if I participated in democracy, how can I receive my tokens? If you like the content, make sure to like and subscribe to the video and the channel, and also make sure to follow us on Twitter. And now let's jump in. So one of the ways I get informed the best is by listening to the weekly community call by Karura. So Akala Network, the creators of Karura, are having this weekly call, and all of the questions by the community can be answered. And if you are low on time, you also can jump immediately into the question you are having. For example, if you want to know about how KSM fee tokens work, and so on, or how the liquidity mining program works, you can jump directly to the chapter. But of course, the most important questions will be answered in this short video. So let's jump into the platform and look at what is new in the user interface. We will see a few new features. So one of the first things you see is that you're actually seeing the price of the value of your portfolio at the moment. For example, $1,337 at the moment here. So what we have to assume is that there is an oracle at play in the background that is getting the price for us, fetching the price for the different tokens that we are holding. So at the front page, you can see a lot of valuable information. For example, the number of tokens you're holding and what is their current USD price, and so on. So number one of the new things, an oracle is at play. But now let's go to ways to earn. And a lot of this ways to earn has to do with LP tokens. So we cover them for a few seconds. Now that the bootstrapping has completed, we can look at all of the information that we have. So the liquidity pool is bootstrapped with KAR and with KSM tokens. And those that provide liquidity to the pool get LP tokens, which represent some of the liquidity in the liquidity pool. So every time someone makes a transaction, the liquidity pool token holders can earn a little bit of the fee. So for example, let's go to the swap tab, and I just enter the amount of one KAR that I want to exchange. It gives me the price and also tells me that there will be a trading fee. So where does the trading fee go to? It goes to the holders of the LP tokens, to the liquidity providers. And if you are an LP liquidity provider, you can see the trading fees, not now, but in the next few days, you will see how much you are earning. So we are visiting the Earn tab now, and you see that there is a few new user interface elements. There are a few new elements. And all of them are showing 0 right now. And from what I have gathered in the community call, the features are not yet enabled yet. So it doesn't really make sense at the moment to stake those LP tokens, from what I understand, as of now. And also there will be a difference between pairs against kUSD and other pairs. Why is this? So for any liquidity pair that you hold, liquidity pool token that you hold, you will earn trading fees. But there are other ways to earn, and those are restricted. They do not apply to all the liquidity pools. So for example, let's look at the second way here, stablecoin surplus share. And what this means is that if you are staking LP tokens from a kUSD pair, you can get stability fees. So what are stability fees? If people are taking out a loan on Karura, so they are giving some of their KSM or anything else, and they are taking out the loan, they will have to pay it back. But if the price drops too much, they will get a liquidation. So the protocol will try to liquidate against the collateral, for example KSM, and will try to swap a little bit of the KSM against the kUSD dollar that has been borrowed. And it will do this via the swap. So the protocol goes to the swap, and for example, it says I have KSM and I need kUSD, so it goes to the appropriate liquidity pool and swaps it. And whenever such a liquidation happens, those that actually provided kUSD versus KSM liquidity pool liquidity, they can earn a little bit of the stability fee, and they will earn this in kUSD. So this is a way to earn kUSD. The third way to earn with LP tokens is with the mining program. So the mining program is a way of the network to incentivize certain liquidity pools. So of course the network wants to be have a lot of value locked and wants to be very stable, and so they might want to incentivize people to invest in a certain pool and provide liquidity for a certain pool so that it is filled with a lot of liquidity. And they will do this by offering additional CAR that can be earned by providing liquidity. So these are the 3 ways you can earn in the liquidity pool program: trading fees, stability fees from the stablecoin protocol, and from the mining program. You will also see another tab, the distribution program, which asks you to collateralize KSM or collateralize liquid KSM. All of this hasn't been enabled yet, so it is a matter of time to see what is actually going to happen. But it is a preview that lets us suspect that this will also be incentivized. Because at the start of this, when people are going to, when the kUSD protocol will be enabled, you could also say, I'm going to just swap in some of my tokens to get kUSD. But the protocol can only create new kUSD when it is created by people collateralizing. So it's a little bit of a hurdle, and the network has to incentivize this to make sure that there is enough kUSD minted. And they will do this by the distribution program, which will also distribute additional CAR for people that are actually collateralizing KSM or liquid KSM. So that's a 4th way that you can earn. And then there is also another way, which is the liquid staking, which will also be enabled soon. So the basic idea is that you will provide KSM and you will get liquid KSM. And what is actually happening is that the KSM will be used for staking on the Kusama network. and you will get a derivative, a coin that represents the staked value. So it appreciates in value, it will get more valuable, and you could retrieve more KSM by returning it at a later date. So this is also a way to lock in more KSM into Karura and will enable the Karura network to gain a little bit of the yield and fill their treasury with this. And the Karura network wants to fill their treasury so that it can be sustainable and go into the future. So this is the fifth way to earn. And now that we have the basics cleared up, I want to go into a few questions that are usually asked in relation to this. So one of the questions I've been seeing is it true that I have to stake KSM to get liquid KSM, and then I have to stake the liquid KSM here? And this is not really the case. You don't have to stake KSM and get liquid KSM to do anything on the platform. It seems to be a common misconception. It's just a way for you to keep, to not lock up your KSM, but to keep them liquid in a form. So you give them to the protocol and let the protocol do something with this, but you get something in return that you can use in the meantime. And then there could be possible ways of, for example, providing them in a liquidity pool or collateralizing them in another way. So there are a lot of possibilities and ways in which you can interact with the system, and it doesn't prescribe a way really. So because of this, it gets complicated, and it's understandable that a lot of people are asking questions. So I just encourage you to maybe sit down, write it down, or write about your thoughts and just ask questions on Twitter. It's okay. A lot of people do it, and we are all running this together. A lot of people are new to decentralized exchanges, and so it makes sense to just go step by step, do little steps, and don't risk too much in the whole process, and just use it as a learning experience if you're not experienced. Which brings us to another very important point, and that is a question that's been asked very often, and that's what is the price of Karura going to be? So I'm getting these questions, and I'm seeing the question asked, what is the car price going to be? And this is a very dangerous question to ask, because why should I know what the car price is going to be? And why should anyone on the internet should know what the car price is going to be? If they know, they would place all their trades in a way that they would profit the most. So if you feel the need to ask anyone what the car price is going to be and use this as your only measure, it's very dangerous, because everyone has an opinion, but it doesn't mean it's true. So if you feel the need to ask the question, what is the price going to be? Just be advised that you might not know enough to really trade the markets, because there are big companies investing millions and billions of dollars to get predictions on what prices are going to be. So if a few small people of us are going to ask this on the internet, we can't ever have the information that others are having. So just be cautious and try to learn more, and you will be able to ask better questions in the future and learn a little bit more. And it takes years of experience, and errors will happen. So make sure that the errors you're doing don't cost you too much and are only small errors. So this is the question on price, but it's not the only question, because another question that we can answer is, what is the market cap of Karura going to be? And there is another advisory that I have to put out. For example, Coin Market Cap is putting the supply of car at 32 million. This is wrong information. So CoinMarketCap and other pages are providing wrong information on supply, and therefore will provide wrong information on the market cap. Market cap is a tool used to understand what is the total, net worth of the whole system, but it's a very limited instrument in that it's very different for each system and each blockchain and each token, how the market cap works. And this is because of the dynamic of how many tokens are actually circulating and how many tokens are locked. And it's very different for every system, and so you can't really compare them. So please, please, please be very cautious about comparing them. But if you really want to get a sense, I'm going to show it to you for how you can do it. And so the way you usually do it is the first thing you do is you visit the website, the official website, not CoinMarketCap, but the official website. And the first thing is you look at the tokenomics. So how are the tokens actually planned to be put into circulation? And so, for example, an important metric is what is the max supply going to be? And then you have to know what is the initial supply. And then what you also want to know, is there inflation? Is there deflation? Is the supply fixed? And how are the CAR distributed? What is usually happening for the modern projects is that, for example, you have a little bit of CAR distributed to the founders, to the backers, to the early investors, and so on, and then later to the community. And this is also split up. Then sometimes they have a marketing budget, or they have a treasury budget, or liquidity mining, and so on, and so on, and so on. So a lot of ways that the tokens can be spread and can be vested or can be released. So what you actually want is a way to know how many tokens are released at any given moment. And thankfully for Karura, they are providing the information. So they are providing tokenomics, the distribution, providing the vesting schedule. And what you could deduce from this is how many tokens are free at any moment and point in time. And they're even providing you with the appropriate chart. And so this is something you want to arrive at. And if a project provides this for you, it's a very good first sign, because you can make an early estimation. Then, of course, you have to validate that this is actually the case, and that it's not something that is just put on a website. But in the case of Karura, I'm trusting the community will validate this, and a lot of eyes are on Karura, wanting it to be successful, but also being critical if everything is going right, because of course many people are invested. So what we are seeing here is that we have this vesting chart, which starts in July of 2021, and it goes over 3 years into 2024. And so if we see the first months, we see like maybe 5% or so released, and then a lot of it being released within the first half year and the first year. And so at the moment, after a few weeks, we could estimate the total supply to be around, I don't know, 8 million, or maybe so 8% or 10%. So let's be pessimistic and say it's 10%. 10% of 100 million is 10 million tokens. So you can expect 10 million tokens to be vested by now. And those are the tokens we estimate to be in circulation. Could be that I'm making an error here. Please don't use me as the only source. Also include other sources and maybe do some thinking or research on your own. But from my understanding, we have 10 million tokens vested, and at a price of currently $7 US. That's 7 times 10 million, so 70 million market cap. This is the number I'm arriving at. Yeah. This brings us almost to the end of the video. There is another question that has been asked quite a few times. So if you're participating in democracy and you voted, how can you get your tokens back? So you're voting and your tokens are being locked up, but how will you be able to get them back? And the question, the answer, one answer that I can provide is that you are using an extrinsic in the portal. So you're visiting developer extrinsics, and then you can look up the democracy palette, and you scroll to the bottom and you have the unlock extrinsic. The unlock extrinsic, you're selecting your account, and it will make sure to unlock the tokens you have locked in the democracy. Yeah, that's it. If you enjoyed today's video, there are a lot more. I'm having this playlist on YouTube called Karura. You can see it on my channel, where we just broke 300 subscribers. which is very exciting for me. Thank you for all of your support. If you want to see more videos in the future, of course, just like and subscribe to this video. And also, if you want to earn interest on your KSM more than you can maybe earn on Karura, you can directly stake on chain. There is a video for this and a lot of information that I will provide in this article that is linked in the description of the video. So I hope you learned a lot in this video. I also hope you will stay safe. Goodbye and see you soon.